Welcome to WeLearn Virtual Learning Network. This is session number 19, Nature of Party System in India. In this session, we will cover the topics Nature of Party System, Changed Socio-Economic Profile, Dislocation of Political Center, Party Systems after 1967, Loss of centrality of Congress and emerging party system, contemporary party system. Now coming towards the first topic, that is nature of party system, first 2 decades after independence. Under this topic, we will cover the points evolution from political center, dominant party system, basic characteristics, centrality of Congress. So coming towards the first point, that is evolution from political center. Rajni Kothari has argued on his Politics in India that the party system evolved from an identifiable political center. This political center, carved during the nationalist movement, was comprised of the political elite sharing common socio-economic background. The common social background of the elite resulted in the homogeneity that became a defining feature for the political center as well as that of the party system. Next topic is dominant party system. The party system during the first 2 decades after independence was termed as the single dominant party system. Dominance of the Congress as the ruling party did not mean absence of the competition. The numerous parties in opposition provided competition. Such competition did not result in effectively challenging the dominant position of the ruling party. Congress as the ruling party were fragmented, the poorly represented in union of the state legislature. Congress continued to return its candidates in large number. In fact, in proportionality, larger number than the votes polled in its favor. Due to their inability to provide an alternative to the ruling party or even to challenge its position of dominance, the opposition parties did not play the traditional role of opposition. One of the important features of the Congress party that helped it to sustain its position of dominance was its capacity to represent divergent social group and interest. Being a plural party representing diverse interests and ideologies, the Congress had a number of factions. The party system, therefore, worked on the basis of consensual model. It was the politics of broad consensus round the political value shared by all the political actors, whether operating from within the ruling group or from the opposition. Next point is centrality of the Congress. At one level, it occupied the most central space of electoral politics, thereby monopolizing it and now allowing other party to seriously challenge its position of power in the center and the states. At another level, its centrality was outlined in its occupation of the pivotal space between the state and society. Representing diverse interests of the society, it remained the most important formal mediating institute of the state. It therefore provided the most crucial space for political negotiations and bargaining. At the third level, the centrality of the Congress was reflected in its ideological standpoint. Being an umbrella party, it had space for all kinds of ideological groups. Hence, it pursued a centrist ideology even when it contained ideological viewpoint of the left and right. Now coming towards the next topic, that is changed socio-economic profile, dislocation of political centers. Change in the nature of party system in the decades of 1960s, according to Rajni Kothari, was the consequence of the changed socio-economic and demographic profile of the polity. The political mobilization of the masses was a logical consequence of the electoral politics based on the principle of universal adult franchise. The emergence of new political classes was directly related to the rise of the proprietary peasant class in rural India in the backdrop of the land reforms. By the beginning of the 70s, the land-owning society dominant section belonging mainly to the backward caste had attained sufficient economic strength to demand a share in political powers. Change in the nature of party system in decades after 1660s, according to Rajni Kothari, was the consequences of the changed socio-economic and demographic profile of the polity. By the beginning of 70s, the land-owning socially dominant section belonging mainly to the backward caste and attained sufficient economic strength to demand share in the political power. Firstly, there was an increase in number of those aspiring for a share of power. Secondly, there was also greater manifestation of the variety of conflicting interest. They had not only different demands and different expectations from the political system, but they also used a different political language. Next are the party system after 1967. The nature of the Indian polity as well as the party system underwent a substantial change after 1967. According to Kothari, this was the beginning of the decline of the dominant party system. A number of new political forces and formations started emerging, making the electoral politics more competitive. The change in the nature of party system initially was much more visible at the state level. There, the hegemony of the Congress party was challenged through the formation of a number of non-Congress government. One of the initial indicators of the weakness of the Congress was the changing nature of factionalism and the sheer spending of the dissidents within the party. The decline of the sensual model of Indian politics was not only a manifestation of the organizational problem of the Congress party, but also of the changing nature of the state-society relationship. By the end of the decade of the 70s, the party system both at the central level as well as the level of states was marked by the flux. The number of political parties that entered the electoral arena was also increased. Congress in power in the center of the first time after the 6th general elections held in 1977. The position of the Congress party further declined and its organizational structure was further weakened. Its organizational structure was fast decaying due to the lack of inter-party democracy on the one hand and its insensitivity towards the changing context of civil society on the other hand. Firstly, next topic is loss of centrality of Congress and emerging party system. Firstly, Congress has ceased to be the dominant political party. It is no more single major political party that dominates the political scenario. The loss of centrality of the Congress in another perspective implies a decline in its capacity to represent consequences. It is no more capable of accommodating varying interest. A decline of Congress has not led to the emergence of an alternate national party that could occupy the central space. Failure of the large national parties like Congress and the BJP to get majority of seats in parliament has brought numerous small parties to the central stage of Indian political. The large parties have been depending upon those smaller parties for the formation of government. Instead of single party majority government, we have been having majority coalitions. In 1991, the minority government of Congress was installed. Now coming towards the next topic, that is contemporary party system. Now the contemporary party system at central level. The party system as it is operating at present is based on multiplicity of political parties. The kind of party system that is available at present is not hegemonic but competitive with sufficient scope of alternation. The compulsion of the electoral mathematics and the requirement of coalition governments have resulted in the politics of alliance. The nature of alliance to begin with was simply on the basis of exigencies of power politics. Acceptance of common program among the alliance partners does not necessarily mean that the alliance partners share common ideology. The politics of alliance has led to the polarization of party. As the national parties are acquiring regional character, the regional parties are playing important role in selecting the national agenda. Now, contemporary party system at the state level. The federal context of the party system makes it imperative not only to emphasize the complexity underlying the relation between the national and the state level party system, but also to analyze the nature of the party system at the state level. At the level of states, there has been for quite some time a keen competition for political power. There is a lot of fluidity in party politics at the state level. This fluidity operates not only in the nature of party competition but also in the way the political parties are placed in the state. Regional parties are important political actors at the level of state, but that does not mean that national parties do not operate at the level of state. Now, here is an exercise for you, questions which are based on these sessions. These are: explain contemporary party system at the central level and explain changed socio-economic profile. Thank you. Happy learning. We learning.